Good morning. This is mostly for Planning 10, but this would be good information for my mechanics kids also. It's Monday, it's just after lunch here, and I thought I'd make you guys another video about about finding a job. We're gonna start doing resumes in Planning 10, and that's it's a pretty technical thing, and I can put out links to uh, templates and how to write resumes and cover letters. But what I want to talk about is stuff that is more about the interaction part of getting a job, like the interpersonal skills that you could brush up on, and some of the research that you should be doing when you're looking to land that first job or to upgrade jobs. So for some of you, maybe you're looking for your first job and you don't have a lot of experience, and for others, you might want to move jobs. You might want to move to a job that suits you a little bit better. I remember being in high school and I did the same thing. I didn't quit my job before I had another one, but I used to work at like gas station, and I worked at a really bad one, and I looked for a better job, and I moved on. So, some of the things that I think that you should be looking at when you're out there looking for a job is try to look at what's a good fit for you first. So, maybe you if you like mountain bikes or whatever, like look at bike shops and stuff like that. If you're good with people, like look at jobs that have a lot of people interaction, like grocery stores. If you're good with your hands, maybe you want a job that's a little bit more hands-on, like as a laborer, like on a construction site or what have you. But one of the most important things that you can do to land that job is you need to think the job like you're the owner or the manager. If you can do that, so if you want to go work at Starbucks, for example, go have a coffee at Starbucks and do some research and watch the workers and watch some of the skills that they have to have that job be successful. And look at there's going to be stuff going wrong, there's tension, there's pressure because they get busy, so you're going to see that and you're going to see how they work as a team. Now, why that's important is because the resume is one thing, but that's just the chance to get in front of a person to have a conversation with them. And this is where you're going to get the job. Nobody's going to hire you based on your resume. Like that just doesn't happen. Like that's not going to happen. I mean, I shouldn't say never because it's always tough. You can always be proven wrong. But people get hired on how they interview. So when you show up to an interview, you should know something about that business that you're interviewing for. So know what the pressures are, and then you can tailor your answers to what they would like to hear. I mean, if you want to get the job, I mean, that's literally what you have to do. And then when you get the job, hopefully you can be more aware and you can deliver on what you said you were, and then you're going to be a successful employee. So, for example, obviously I talk about my personal experiences. I landed a job at the school district right out of university, and I interviewed against people that had way more experience. I had zero experience. I had none, and I was pretty confident that I was gonna get the job because when I went to go look, I went a week before and I met some of the people I'd be working with, and I looked around, saw what the school was like, and then I kind of did my research, and then when I had the interview, I really was able to make a connection with the people interviewing me. And that is 110% why I got the job. It wasn't because I was more qualified than the other applicants, because I wasn't. I couldn't be. I interviewed, Vernon's a popular place to work. I interviewed against dozens of people that had experience, they had resumes, they'd been doing my job for sometimes 2 decades. But what I was able to do is I was able to tailor my message to what I would think that my superior would want. And so, as a shop teacher, um, in trying to get a job at Seton, I know that there's lots of kids that come to school just to be in shop, and they need to have a connection to the school. and that I would be teaching lots of kids that didn't have strong connections with school, and that would be my job to sort of hook them in and to give them a reason to come. And because they might not fit anywhere else in the school, they might not fit in PE, they might not fit in academics. And I knew that part of my job, a big part of it, was to hook those kids, keep them out of trouble, and to give them some good role modeling. And so that's what I based my interview strategy on. I didn't come in and show the interviewers all my projects and woodwork projects, car projects, because they really weren't interested in that. That's not what they're interested in. They don't know anything about that. But what they do know is that they want to have somebody in the school that works as a good team member. They need somebody that can work with other teachers, that can get along with students. Those are the things that resonate with them. And so that's how I interviewed. And I knew I had the job before I left the interview. I just could feel it. And that's because I did my research. And so you have to think like the person that is hiring you. Like a business is in a business to make money. Okay? They don't, you have to see what their pressures are and how can you help them alleviate those pressures. That's how you become a part of the team. Like I know having coached hockey, I use like sports analogies, but we're on a hockey team, you're not all goal scorers. There's some guys that are energy guys. There's defensemen. There's the goaltender. There's guys that are just good teammates. They're good to have in the room. Like you've heard all the cliches. You need that mix to have a successful team. And that's like a business. So when you go look to get a job, where do you fit within their plan? Like what part are you going to hold up? And then you make yourself valuable to that organization. And now not only can you get the job, but you can also move up in the job. So that's my first kind of tip. And I'm going to put out stuff that's very, like the technical stuff, some resume builder stuff, and we're going to start working on that. But I don't feel that teaching that stuff on YouTube is valuable. There's people out there that can write a way better resume than Mr. Bowden. You know that, I know that. Okay? So that's not my strength. So I'm not going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you where you can find that information, and somebody can show you how to do a bang up job of that. And I'll post some videos and some links. But I feel like my job is to talk about like the real world experience of how you actually pull this off. Like why does person A get the job over person B? And the biggest reason that they do is interpersonal skills and being able to interview well. And part of that is knowing what your role is going to be, thinking that role, and thinking like your boss, because that way you can become valuable to the organization. The other key thing is, and this is more difficult these days, because so much of our communication is not face to face. Like it's a lot of texting, Snapchat, whatever. There's a lot of communication, but there's not a lot of communication face to face, especially these days if you're trying to stay 6 feet away from people. When you go to an interview, eye contact and body language is so important. You want to project confidence. And the way that you do that is by showing good body language. 90% of our communication is nonverbal. So when you meet somebody, they're reading your body language before you even open your mouth. So, your shoulders should be back. You should make eye contact. If you shake the person's hand, if we're ever allowed to do that again, which I'm sure we will, but you might not shake the person's hand in this interview in the next couple months. But when you get back to shaking hands, you don't just put your hand out there like it's a limp noodle. It's a firm handshake. It's eye contact. And you need to project confidence. And you can practice this. Like, I know it sounds silly, but you can practice your body posture. I know I've showed some TED Talks about the actual science behind body posture and how it increases your hormones that provide confidence. Your testosterone level goes up, which your confidence will go up if you have good body posture. And they've done studies on it. Now, I haven't done them, so I don't know. I'm watching a TED Talk just like I show you guys. And this is apparently that they've studied this. But I do know that projecting confidence by having eye contact and good body posture is really the first step. That's the first impression you're going to make. So these are things just to think about. And I'm going to throw stuff out there that's not me talking. Uh, I'll put them in the link. They're not going to all come today. I don't know how long that we're going to be out for. Hopefully, never know. Maybe we'll get back to school, maybe next month. Who knows? You're watching the news just like I am. And so I'm going to have an opportunity to put some of this stuff out there. So this is where we're going to be going with planning. Where I want to really work on this with you guys because I think that it's valuable. I think that you guys are at the stage where you're probably thinking about, yeah, why not? I want to make some of my own money, and there's no experience like being an employee. You'll notice going from a student to an employee, all of a sudden things are a little different. Got to make sure that you're on time. You don't just get like a wag of the finger. You might get that once or twice, but you might not come back if you're late the third time. And it's so good. It's just so good for your development as a person to have that experience of having a part-time job. Anyways, I wanted to connect with you. I wanted to put this out there. This is kind of like how I talk to you guys in class, and that's part of me starting this YouTube channel is to keep some kind of connection with you. And I will put the technical stuff. You can start showing me your updated resumes, and we can work on some small assignments in the coming week. And you guys stressing about your marks and stuff like that, like it's not about that right now. You guys, you're gonna be fine, marks wise in the class. Just participate, a little bit, and reach out, and when I ask for a resume, update yours, and participate. Maybe send me an email with some of your thoughts or write something in the comment section. I'm not asking for a lot. Okay, well, you guys have a good day, and I'll keep you posted, and I got some other stuff too. I'm thinking about doing maybe some interviews with some people I know that have started successful businesses, and I want to try to keep this channel like entertaining. Not all the time I get on here, I'm gonna be giving you some assignment. I want to give you a reason to come back and just learn for the sake of learning, which is important. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure that get outside, exercise. Beautiful day today, so get out there, be happy, and be healthy. All right, bye.